I'm Will.
And I'm Bella,
Welcome to Holy Matrimony.
a podcast where we discuss my journey into the world of professional wrestling.
And each week, I'm going to guide you through my ultimate obsession.
And this week is special. For those of you watching, you've already noticed that we have somebody else here with us, and it's a different setup.
Yes.
But for those of you listening, I would love to introduce our guest for this episode. It is my sister.
I'm Talia.
Thank you, Talia, for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Exactly, and letting us use your space as a recording studio, because this week we are not in our normal location. We're traveling, and that's why you don't see all of our nice decorations.
Yes.
And we have a guest.
Yes. But before we get into our episode, I think we got some details that we got to go through.
Yeah, because it's going to be a fun one, but let's get all the, I guess, not fun stuff out of the way. So episodes release every Thursday. If you would like to, and it would help us out, follow us on social media. We are on X and Instagram at Holy Matrimony. That's HOLYMATCHRIMONY. We do post updates on there, as well as some fun reels and, little clips, things like that. You can find the podcast on most of the major podcast players, as well as YouTube. So some of you do watch. If you would like to watch, we are on Holy Matrimony Podcast. That's the channel. It's youtube.com/@holymatrimony. All the same spelling.
Yes. So please like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, follow, all the fun stuff to let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you want to see. It helps us out, and we'd love to hear from you. Yes. So now we can get into it.
Yeah. So before we really get into everything, if you just want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit, T. I call her T. Sorry, it's Talia.
Yeah, well, I'm Talia. Obviously, I'm Bella's sister, like she said. But I have known, Bella my whole life, but I've known Will for like 14 years now. So it's only fitting that I joined them on their podcast so Will and I can discuss how he got me into WWE first, and then he got Bella. So
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you could tell I'm older, so like she said, she's known me her whole life, and I've known her since she was born,
Is that how that works? Being older sibling?
Just in case somebody doesn't know.
Okay, I didn't know. I was
Well, I
confused.
don't know, in case somebody too was like, wow, you're like so young. And then, oh, your sister's like so young. Is she like 10? No. I'm actually 30. Thank you. And
I am 10 though.
Yeah.
Yes. She is 10. She's just very tall. But yeah, just in case. You never know. Somebody might not have known. But yes, it's interesting because I've talked in, I think, the first episode a few times since then as well, that the podcast is about you getting me into wrestling.
Yes.
But you had this journey trying to get my siblings to get into it first because you were trying to get me into it. I think you were like blackmailing me. I don't know. Or you're blackmailing them. I don't know.
No, the thought was if the whole family likes it, she's got to like it at some point.
Which that's just not me. So people who that's not me. But yeah, anyway, so you have a history yourself with wrestling even before Will, probably a little bit.
Yeah.
If not, it was around that time. But why don't you just tell us a little bit about like the first time you like remember like watching wrestling, getting into wrestling, like how that progressed?
Yeah, well, we do have a brother, and then we also have a lot of boy cousins. So from a really young age, we would always play WWE, wrestle each other and do moves. So it's pretty much for as long as I can remember always having some part of it in my life. And then I don't really remember the first time I ever watched it, but I just remember watching a lot of John Cena matches. He was like all the craze when I was younger. So that's like some of the most memorable. Obviously, The Undertaker.
Yes.
Of course.
I was terrified of him, but I watched all of his matches too and tuned in every Monday night,
Oh, of course. And do you like know around what age? Because obviously you're not going to remember the first, but like, do you have any guess of that?
Honestly, probably 10.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
Right. So this year.
So also, quick side note, that means that she also started watching wrestling before you did, age-wise.
At a younger age, yes, because I was definitely 12, 13 when I started watching.
Yeah, because I love to point it out. You're the biggest wrestling fan. I watched literally before you because we're similar in age, but
We could probably move on from this conversation.
I wanted to give her props. She started before you.
Yes.
At like an earlier age than you did.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
That's true.
Yeah, it's because I'm diehard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And she, I mean, it's unfortunate for you. You didn't have siblings to do the "don't try this at home" moves, but
I
obviously,
still tried it at home.
Oh,
just,
you did.
Yeah.
Alone.
Alone. Yeah.
Oh, that kind of got sad. Anyway, but yes, I do know because obviously I'm older, so I wasn't doing that stuff with you. But I know you and our brother were definitely downstairs with some couch cushions.
Oh yeah, just trying all of the things that we definitely should not have been doing, the things they advise against doing. Exactly. And then one of us would always end up crying.
Oh, of course, but you don't tell your parents because then they'll tell you no. They'll say don't do it anymore, but so we never told our parents.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is a good thing, WWE. You put that disclaimer on there. It's not really helping. I'm sorry. I'm not encouraging kids to do this.
No, we shouldn't do it.
But maybe there should be like a stronger disclaimer.
Yeah, like maybe scare them a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
bring blood back to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's, I don't know.
That made it cooler. Yeah, that made it cooler.
But
okay, that was just a personal preference.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we want blood back in the show for sure.
Yes.
We're just calling that out. Anyway, though, so in the past, who do you think was like your favorite wrestler?
Randy Orton, without question.
It's a good choice.
But I will say Triple H was definitely up there, close second for me.
We do love us some Triple H here.
Yeah, you have a direct line to him.
Direct line. He calls me. At least once a month.
Yeah,
I'll tell him that when I talk to him next.
Okay, that's good. We'll get into more current stuff because obviously we know Randy's still going. But yeah, so I mean, both of you, like, if you want to discuss a little bit how you entered that world with them too, because we've been together for a long time.
Yes.
So they got into it. Like, we both had been into it before, but there were things that you tried to get around me.
Well, yeah. So again, knowing you as long as I have, I knew that you and your brother were into it. I'd watched it and stuff, not like, as you said, just like playing around, stuff you shouldn't have. But I remember there were times where like I'd be watching you guys or you guys would be at our house and I'd turn it on and I'd be like, guys, watch this. Hey, watch this. Bella's like, just watch it. And then you guys would sit down and start watching with me, enjoying yourselves. But then when Bella came on, I'd be like, Bella, watch it with us. And she'd be like, no, turn it off. We're not watching this.
Yeah, and I definitely remember always being more into it than my brother was.
Yes.
He would always go on his phone or go off and do whatever, but I won't lie, I was pretty tuned in. Anytime you would turn it on, it didn't matter if it was old or current or anything like that. It always intrigued me to some extent.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just a pawn in this game that you were, or sorry, she was a pawn in the game that you were playing, but I'm glad you enjoyed it at least.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, because that was years ago probably that you first started trying to do that.
Yeah, a good 8-10 years ago.
Yeah, well, ages are relationship.
Yeah.
But then I only started this last year, so
yes.
I guess did you think, knowing me, that I would ever actually get into it?
No, absolutely not. The way you would talk about it and just make fun of us and everything, and you were so adamant, I am never going to be into that. You're not watching that around me. Let's change it to something else. So when you got into it, it was definitely a surprise.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a surprise for me.
Yes.
Did you think so back then when he would have you watch it and you tried to he would try to get you guys to get me to watch it? Did you actually try, or were you like, I'll just help him out, but I know she's not gonna do it?
No, I knew you were never going to do it. It was more like, well, at least I find this entertaining, and I'm not going to be bored, so might as well.
Which, yeah, true.
I was just playing the long game the whole time.
I know. You didn't know, though, that it had nothing to do with other people. It was the live show. So you messed up.
I messed up. But real quick, you said something there that I think is great, right? Currently, all your favorite wrestlers are bad guys or bullies. And I think that perfectly describes your opinion on wrestling until last year.
Are you saying I'm a bully?
I'm not saying you're a bully.
Well, somebody brought.
I'm not saying you're a bully.
So did you feel bullied then? I wouldn't watch it, and you could tell the truth. We all know.
Bully's a strong word, I just felt your dislike for it.
She'll tell the truth. I was mean, huh?
Yeah, no, you were definitely mean. You would make fun of us a lot.
I know.
I don't know that I'd go to bully. Like, I didn't go home and cry about it or anything like that, but you were mean.
Oh yeah, and that's people who know me know, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm into it now.
You're into it now. It's all good.
I'm nice now, except I do like the bad guys.
Yes,
You generally like the good guys.
I do.
So obviously you don't keep up with it the same way we
Yeah.
do, but you generally keep up. Looking back on who you did like, and now kind of geared towards, do you think you're like in that middle? You like, there's some good guys, some bad, or do you think you also go towards bad?
No, I definitely think I go towards bad. And I like as a kid, I didn't understand that it was like fake. Maybe not to use that word to offend anybody, but I definitely thought that this was like real, like that these people were actually doing this stuff to each other, and it was not just like a storyline. So as a kid, I feel like I didn't have a good gauge of like the bad guys versus the good guys. But as an adult, there's very rare occasions where I like a good guy.
Which I mean, I agree, and we'll definitely talk about that. 'Cause
Yes.
we want to go through some of these current people and kind of discuss that. But yeah, anybody who also knows our family, and you would agree, we are gonna like the bad guys.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that
Maybe
makes
not our
sense.
brother, maybe not him,
Yeah.
but even him, I think.
Yeah.
That's just like our family,
Yeah, that it makes sense. It vibes. Yeah.
and that's kind of what you felt, right? Like
Yes.
you were the good guy, I was the bad guy that wouldn't do it.
I mean, yeah, I'm always the good guy, right?
See, here's the thing with wrestling, though. The bad guy doesn't think they're the bad guy.
That's true.
They think they're right. I mean, there's some that play it up, but that's how I feel.
Mhm.
I thought I was the good guy, and you were the bad guy.
I know. And since you've changed. It's great. You've changed. Face turn for Bella.
I mean, in wrestling, but there's definitely other things.
Well, just in this one situation.
Just in this situation.
But we know that, yeah, generally I'm the bad guy, you're the good guy, but I see it as
Opposite.
such.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we won't ask because I know the answer, like who she thinks is the bad guy, but
I just don't think I could ever see Will as the bad guy.
no,
No.
yeah, that's his thing. That's what's cute, you know.
Yeah. I'm like John Cena. Ultimate good guy.
He's not even your favorite.
Yeah, but John Cena can be a little like.
Well, we'll definitely discuss this. I've been discussing with him on the sides, watching like Raw and SmackDown, that there's some people I think they think they're good, but they're not.
Yes.
Definitely.
So,
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that.
okay.
I got thoughts.
Oh yeah. So I guess like transitioning into that, really, you were actually there for my transition into wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Because well, obviously I went to the show, that was the biggest thing, but you were there to have me watch some of these matches
Yeah.
and some of these old events. So what was that fun for you? Like we were both into it? Were you kind of like, wow, we're watching so much wrestling right now?
No, honestly, it was fun. Like when I look back on that, it was like so simple because it was just like wrestling match after wrestling match. But it was actually fun, and it was fun to see you get into it because I don't like follow it religiously or anything, but it's always something that piqued my interest. It's just whether or not I had time to watch an episode of Raw or SmackDown or anything like that. But it was nice to watch you get into it and like actually enjoy it for once instead of making fun of us or telling us to turn it off.
Yeah. So I was going to kind of explain
Yeah.
what we're talking about a little bit. Because for those who don't know, so we went to that live event. And then like we saw you like later that week or over next week or something. And I think we were just kind of bored sitting at home. And I turned like a Royal Rumble on. I was watching it, I think. And I think I was watching it and you guys were on your phone. And Talia was like, just put it on the TV. It's fine. And I looked over to you and you didn't say no. And so I was like, I'm going to put it on TV. And then from there, we just started watching like a whole bunch of like Royal Rumbles and other matches and stuff. I think it was
Yeah,
kind of
we
the
got
catalyst.
like sucked in and
Yeah.
sat there all day on the couch watching different matches. Yeah.
Yeah, you were like trying to convince me even more
Yes.
by having me watch certain matches. So we weren't even watching current, except I think the Royal Rumble might have been current.
Yeah, I think it was like
Or within a few years.
yeah.
But you were like, let me just show you the best. Did I think you like came in on some because you brought up the Undertaker and you were
Yeah.
like, oh wait, what about that like Buried Alive match or whatever? And I
Yes.
remember that was one of the
Yes.
ones that we watched.
Yes.
Which is great.
Because I remember you were like, when I was a kid, I thought he got buried alive.
Yeah, because like I said, I genuinely did not understand that it was like not real, and I truly wholeheartedly thought that the buried alive match was real.
And so when he came back, were you like, oh my gosh, he's like a
Like
ghost?
resurrected. No, dude, like Jesus resurrected.
See, I'm sad that I missed all that, right? Because that's when I wasn't watching, but watching it back. And I knew about that too, though, right? Because everyone knew The Undertaker and the Buried Alive, but that was the first time I actually watched that match.
Yes.
But you both had seen it before.
Oh yeah, I'd seen it multiple times.
Yeah, same.
I mean, we could try that one day. Like try Buried Alive.
Oh yeah,
And just see how long we make it.
yeah.
Oh, like between us?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do it.
I mean, that's fine. Let's try it.
I mean,
I'll come back like Undertaker. Ultimate good guy, Undertaker.
oh, the ultimate good
The
guy?
ultimate good guy.
Since when?
I mean, he was a good guy for a while.
Well, at least we'll admit that we would win.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
be the one that's buried
Yeah,
alive
yeah.
for sure.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, no, we win, obviously. Tag team. Well, no, it'll start with one of us and the other one will come out.
Yes,
You
that's
know.
how it is. Like,
Like Bloodline rules it or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll do
just to
that.
help out.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause sorry. It's going to be us against you. I'm
That's-
sorry.
I know. That's
Oh,
how,
yeah.
that's how it's
We're
been
sisters. We're
The
sisters.
loyalty.
that's how it's been for 14 years. I know.
I know, sorry. Oh, it's getting a little heated in here. Okay, now this is where we have fun. Because I want to give you a lot of credit because I think part of what got me even more into it, it was not just like watching the matches with you, but we have fun. Okay, now,
Yes.
yeah, disclaimer for people who might get like offended or upset. We just naturally joke about like everything. And so we're not making fun of the wrestlers. We're not doing anything. Well, maybe a little bit for some of them. But we have a good time. Like, we can't just like watch it and just like sit there like dead serious.
No, we have to make a joke or two about somebody.
Exactly. And like with names and stuff. But it's not disrespect. It's honestly
Well,
just all fun.
And it's nothing personal, nothing about looks or anything like that. It's mostly just people's names that we're making fun of.
Yes. Now there's one person with their looks, and I know you're sitting there.
Yeah, but what I was
It's
going
like,
to say.
well, you're lying.
No, I mean, I agree. I think what I was going to say is, like, just because you're making fun of somebody doesn't mean you don't like them either. So you could be making fun of somebody you really like.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because we make fun of each other the most.
Yes.
So if that was true that we hated each other, that'd be weird. No, we make fun of who we are closest to and love most.
Right.
Except there's a couple people
There's
on
a
there
couple
that,
people who.
but I'm not
There's a
pretty
few,
serious.
yes.
Yeah.
So I guess we could start with, because this was the big one, and Talia has a shirt, so for those watching with this. But one of the first people that I really saw, because I went to the live event, and he was very current at the time. And then once we started watching some, obviously, this is who it was. So we're talking about Seth Rollins, specifically Seth freaking Rollins. And I've waited on the show because this is for you. He's just not just Seth Rollins to you. He has a couple
No.
different things.
No, he's definitely just freaking to me.
Yeah, just freaking. So if she says freaking, if we say freaking, we're talking about Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Yeah, that's solely what I refer to him as.
Exactly. Now, there's also something else with him that we call him, and this is true. So for anybody who's going to get on there and say it's not true, they're lying.
That he is a yapper. Is that what you're talking about, or no?
No. There's more, but yes, that too, though.
Yes.
That he doesn't shut his mouth.
I know
Yes.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. That he might look like so.
Yeah, he looks exactly like Maluma, the Latin singer. Like, the first time I ever saw him on the screen, I was like, because you guys know Bad Bunny does some of like the WWE stuff, and he made his debut. I was like, oh my God, is Maluma doing wrestling now? Because at the time I had never really seen him like with his long hair and everything like that, and he had his highlights in, and I'm like, this is Maluma. Like, I think Bad Bunny got Maluma into wrestling.
Which he could, and they could like pretend to be twins or something.
No, they seriously could, because they look identical.
No, they do. And now, because I know since he's been out, right, he's been hurt. A lot of the pictures we see, he like has a hat on or something, so his hair's up. So if you're looking at those pictures, I know you're saying he doesn't look like Maluma, but look with his hair down, like you said,
Like a
with the
full
highlights.
wrestling match
Yeah.
that he's in
Yes.
with, he's got it all wet and everything like that. He looks like Maluma.
Yes, and we've actually seen Maluma recently because he was on The Voice, not to call that out, but
Yeah.
he was on there, and we're like, oh, it's him.
Yeah, because they still look identical.
Yeah.
And on The Voice, Maluma even wore an outfit that Seth Rollins would have wore. So
Yeah, honestly, I wonder if Seth watches The Voice. I'm sorry, freaking watches The Voice, because he should, because that outfit Maluma had on is exactly what Seth would wear.
yes, 100%.
So they are the same person.
Yeah, they're just pranking us.
And actually, I think he was out and he was hurt when
That's true.
Maluma was on The Voice.
That's true. We've never seen Maluma and
They've
Seth
never
Rollins
been in the same room together.
No, and people don't talk about it either, which I think is also the cover-up.
Deep
but
conspiracy.
we're bringing
Deep
it in.
conspiracy right here.
Yeah, so we just want to know. But yes, it's obviously not because we hate Seth Rollins or anything. It's
No.
all in good fun.
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's okay. I mean, he does talk a little bit too much on Raw. Sometimes
Yes.
I'm like, okay, come on, let's get to like the wrestling. But I think that's more of like, I'm not as big a fan of the storyline as I am of just like, let's get to the wrestling. And I know that the talking storyline stuff plays into the wrestling storyline, but for me, it's more fun to actually see them wrestle.
Yeah, and that's you. You're
Yeah,
like
I'm
that
the same
too.
way. You're the opposite.
I'm the drama.
Yeah.
If they just talked the whole time, I would also be okay. you know?
Yes.
Not freaking, because he would.
He would talk-
a
he's like
whole
whole-
The
3
entire
hours.
Yeah.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying.
Well, and I do want to bring up where freaking came from. Obviously, his name's Seth freaking Rollins, right? But I think one of you, I can't remember which one of you said, like, is that his nickname? And I was like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, but like, do you just call him that? Like, has Stone Cold, his nickname's Stone Cold, and you can call him Stone Cold. Can you just call him freaking?
Well, yeah,
Like,
and I think it came from it because it's freaking in quotations,
Yeah.
which is typically like if you're referring to somebody that's typically referring to like if you put something in quotations, it's their nickname.
yes.
Yep.
So it's kind of like is it meant to just be freaking or did he not realize that that's like what that meant?
No, exactly. And I think, because I think we got you on that, because you were like,
You
no,
did.
it's Seth freaking Rollins. And I think it was one of us, we said, but Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
They call him Stone Cold or Steve Austin. Some people use the full name. So in that theory and that logic, it should just be freaking.
Yeah, and I had no comments. Like, you know what? Just go for it.
Because you knew we were right.
Well, because technically we are, but I get the notion of him wanting it to be Seth freaking Rollins
Mhm.
and not just freaking, because it's definitely not as cool as something like Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course. But it is also like, oh, that's freaking, you know?
Yeah, and so
I think it's as cool.
I love it. I think it's great.
so now around the house, he's just freaking.
He is. Now.
Or Maluma.
Or Maluma.
Oh, yes, and you know, because they're the same person, so it's interchangeable. But I know you probably haven't seen this because Randy, speaking of Randy, he just used that he was Randy freaking Orton.
Yeah, I think that's just he's just infringement. Actually, Seth Rollins might sue him.
Oh yeah, I want to see that match. You know, I think if Randy wants it, Randy gets it.
I'll show you. They've had a couple matches.
Yeah, but Randy was not that big.
He
I
wasn't
know.
Jack Randy. No, yeah, Randy Orton just got up heat in the moment. He decided to say that he's Randy freaking Orton.
Well, if he keeps saying it, he's also gonna be freaking, and then we're just going Maluma for Seth Rollins, and
And
Randy gets to be freaking.
Randy.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely gets seniority in that one.
Yeah. Well, because also, I mean, it's Randy,
Yeah, Randy
Yeah,
Orton
true.
is one of the best.
but also Seth has nothing on him.
I like Seth Rollins. I like freaking.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah, I take Randy freaking Orton in a match for sure.
They could do Seth freaking Rollins versus Randy freaking Orton in a freaking on a ladder match.
It's just gonna be called. That's like the whole pay-per-view. It's the frickin'.
The freaking
Or
show.
they
Yeah.
could do a buried alive, and then whoever gets buried loses the freaking, and whoever wins gets to keep it.
We could.
Oh, I do like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And the Undertaker can come out and help again. He just did
He
for
could
WrestleMania.
be the under freaking taker.
Oh my gosh, this works for so many of their names.
It
huh?
really does.
Dang. Okay.
I mean, it basically works for every name.
no, but like that still sounds weird because of his personality. You wouldn't say it with like.
Sammy freaking Zayn.
Or
no,
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Cody
Cody
freaking
freaking Rhodes.
No, he's good as like the American.
No, but like if you said Cody freaking Rhodes, I think you're talking about like your friend, like from college. Like that doesn't sound like.
That is true because Cody. That's his actual name too.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's the real name.
Cody's just like a name. Now, I guess, but Seths though can be like cooler, right? There's like different types of Seths. Cody's just like a dude, but we also know that that's not his actual name, and it's good that he changed his name.
Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying
Wait.
you have a bad name, but for wrestling,
What's his actual name?
Colby?
Colby.
Oh yeah, that doesn't. And
Yeah.
what is Rollins his last name?
No.
Oh, I don't know his last name.
No, it's
though.
just made up.
Oh, okay. I'm like, because Colby freaking Rollins does not go.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about like the name Colby, but for wrestling, I don't like. Well,
For
you're
his
gonna
per-
say there's like a Colby.
for his persona, I would say.
But see, this is
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
no. But I wanted to talk about this. This is where I knew this was gonna come up. Seth is a good guy
Yeah.
Yes.
right now. I truly believe
He's more of a villain.
he's 100% a bad guy.
Well, yeah, and I'll be real. Seth goes so well with like a villain. Like that's a villain name for sure. So I think he's pretending to be a good guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, he was a bad guy like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then became a good guy because the fans love him. But I see that he might do some stuff that heels do.
The way he just talks is definitely bad, like a bad guy
Yeah.
vibe. His look, his entry, he literally comes in with the craziest outfits, the craziest sunglasses, and is just so disrespectful. That's a bad guy.
Yeah, he gives bad guy.
Yeah. I would like him more as a bad guy.
I think he will. I think he'll become a bad guy
Definitely.
again. He'll be a bad guy eventually.
Yeah, and so that's why I think there's something about him that I like. Because I was like, because he went against Drew at first.
Yeah.
That was mine. But I kind of always liked him a little bit, and it's because he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about somebody else who you think is a bad guy. And I think Talia knows who this person is.
Mhm.
CM Punk.
Oh, I love CM Punk.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, Will loves CM Punk. And right now he's beefing with my boy. Well, he's hurt because, he's a baby or whatever.
Not true.
Well,
he's hurt.
Drew was willing to wrestle hurt. He wasn't, but it's fine. Anyway.
Well, CM Punk is old.
Yeah.
He is. But it's not that I don't like CM Punk. I just, obviously right now he's beefing with one of my people.
Yes.
He is 100% a bad guy, and he fights me on this all the time. So I'm curious what you think.
I think he's definitely a bad guy. I
Yeah.
think he may have like at some point maybe leaned towards the good side, but no, he definitely gives off like those villain vibes for sure.
I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
that guy.
a good guy. He sticks up for people. He sticks up for what he believes in. Sometimes that hurts a little bit. If it hurts, if the shoe fits, you got to wear it.
That's not what he's doing. That is not what he's doing.
Yeah, he didn't hide from Drew. He was in the ring. He was waiting for Drew.
Would Sami Zayn ever say the stuff that he would say?
Sami Zayn's considered a good guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I like by that logic, CM Punk is definitely. I mean, aside from my feelings on it, by that logic, CM Punk is definitely a bad guy.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll see. I think, I guess to me, a good guy is somebody that gets cheered, and he gets cheered, so he's a good guy.
A lot of like bad
Bad
people
guys.
also have been cheered. I don't think that that's like it.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. What?
Oh yeah. Exactly. But yes. So Seth is one of like the biggest ones. Now we do have fun. Now hear me out, because Talia did say it doesn't have to do with looks, but there are some times that we have fun and we joke about people's looks, but it's not like in a bullying mean way.
No,
It's just like to describe them. And actually, these people, and the one I'm going to talk about, I actually like him, and I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But background, I guess, on me, I'm really bad at names.
Yeah.
You know this.
yeah. So it's more just describing people.
Yeah, because you watched like how many seasons of Love Island with me?
Yeah, you're like the one that looks like this, the one that has the curly hair.
Yeah, or I could tell you like everything they said, but I will not remember.
Yeah,
their
you're
name.
like, which is the one that said this? Definitely.
Exactly. So wrestling obviously is really hard because how many people are there? And I have to remember their names. But when we first started watching, and you were there for some of this too, I am not going to remember their names.
Right.
Right? Especially if it's people that like it's the first time I'm seeing a match or I just don't know anything. So there was one person in particular, and Will's going to be sad, that when I saw him, the first time I saw him, I think it was the angle he was walking out on, I thought it was a girl.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I
I know who we're talking about now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can't even remember what was happening, but I was like, oh, like, is that like the girl with him? Like there's always like a girl with like the group of guys, right? And I thought that's what it was. And then when he turned and we actually saw him on camera, I was like, oh, that's like a dude.
Yes.
Who are we talking about?
Talking about my boy, one of my favorites, Pete Dunne.
Yes. Pete, and I'm not saying you're a girl. Okay. But the hair got me.
And it was the angle, I'm not going to lie, because I was there. And I I think they were definitely coming out, but I was like, oh, or is this like one of those things where they bring a girl into the match? Like, do they do that still? Because back when I used to watch it as a kid, every once in a while you'd see like a dude wrestle a girl, and so I was like, oh, do they do that still? And then he turned, and we were like, oh,
It's honestly, it was his hair. He has really long hair, but he's also shorter
Yeah.
for a wrestler.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've told me
Yeah.
that.
He's a little shorter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to like Randy Orton and the big guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
compared to Randy Orton, yeah.
You know.
But so obviously I said that, and you really like him, so
Yes.
you were kind of like, oh my gosh, like. But I was like, well, he did look like a girl from that angle, and with that hair and everything. Obviously, I now know his name.
Yes.
And I know that he's in the New Catch Republic. I've been working on this.
Yes.
But and this was like recent.
Until
okay?
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. He was just always the girl.
Yes.
To me. I'd
So-
say, oh, that's the girl.
So I remember I would have to tell you that we watched a different match, and you're like, well, who's in this? And I'm like, Pete Dunne, and you're looking at me, and I'm like, okay, the girl.
Or like I'd see him and I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's the girl.
Yes. So I appreciate that you finally now know that his name's Pete Dunne.
But like we're always because you knew right when I said it, you knew who I was
Yeah.
talking about. So in certain conversations, I might still be like, oh yeah, it's the girl.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know his name was Pete Dunne, so
Yeah, because
Yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
Yeah, well, because you definitely haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen more of
No.
them because of you, but also they're on Raw now.
Yes.
And I started watching SmackDown too. But he's definitely the girl because he wrestles with the big strong boy.
The big strong boy.
Which you haven't seen him yet, I don't think. Or like you've seen
No.
him, but like you wouldn't know. Because I think the one that we watched with you, he wasn't big strong boying it at all.
I don't even know if he was in it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, he
So-
might have just been on his own. Huh?
Yeah, so his tag team partner is Tyler Bate, and he's also a shorter guy. But his
oh, I don't think I know who that is. I've never seen.
yeah,
Oh, we'll definitely show you because yeah, he's short. He might even be shorter.
I think
than Pete Dunne.
slightly, yeah.
And they call him the big strong guy.
Strong
Big
boy.
strong boy.
Oh, big strong boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is a big strong.
He does
boy.
he does pick those big dudes up. And he does spin them around.
Yeah, because I think I've seen him pick up. Did he pick up Bronson?
Maybe I know he picked up one of the AOP, I believe.
Yeah, he definitely picked up. Oh, I remember that because I was like, we were at that live show.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way he's getting. I don't know which one. If it was Occam or Razor, I don't know which
Yeah.
one. But he picked one of them up. He spins him around. And he doesn't just do like little. He picks him up. He spins him around.
And then tosses them.
Yeah, he's like short for Russ. Obviously, I'm short, but he's like short.
For a wrestler, yeah, he's short.
And he's not jacked. Like he's obviously like muscular, but he's not like jacked. And this dude will pick up some guys.
Yeah.
So he's the big strong boy.
He is a big strong boy.
So it's the big strong boy and his girl.
No. Just
No,
the
see,
big-
that's definitely fitting to me. That's like how I would refer
Thank
to
you.
it as just like more of a casual viewer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, the New Catch Republic, that's like a lot of words. So I don't want to say that every time. I'd
Yeah.
rather just be like, oh, it's Big Strong Boy and his girl.
Or just their names. Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne.
Now that I remember their names, but before.
No, but it's also a little fun to say the big strong boy and his girl. So it's like a little.
Yeah, it's
Pete
kind
Dunne,
of
I'm
It's
sorry.
funny.
I'm sorry. Pete Dunne, they're doing you dirty. I'm
no,
sorry.
I really like them, though. Now watching them more, I get why you like them.
Yeah, but like if he's ever world champion, you're gonna be like, oh, world champion, the girl.
Well, maybe he should cut his hair
No,
before then.
his hair's
it's
part
the
of it.
hair, not the Dora hair that Shawn Michaels did. I want just no hair. Not no hair, but like short hair.
The Dora hair. We're not. Why are we bringing this up again?
Oh, you were there for the Dora situation, too.
Did you watch that one? I don't know if you watched it with us.
Yeah, where he had the bad brown.
Like the poop brown trunks on.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
an elimination chamber or
Elimination
something.
chamber,
Yeah.
So we talked about that a couple episodes ago. So you saw the Dora hair
Yeah.
as well. That definitely was not his strong point. Like, if his whole thing is he's the sexy boy and he has a Dora haircut, would you ever think?
Definitely not sexy boy.
Thank you.
I would call him Dora. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Exactly. I'm not saying he was bad before or after. I'm just saying the Dora hair was not his best.
Sexy boy. Like instead of the Dora theme, you know. Instead
Not
of
that song.
Dora, sexy boy.
Don't. We can sing the whole song, okay? Because we watched Dora. way
Let's
too
not do
much.
that. Let's keep going.
But yeah, so that now you haven't, and I actually haven't seen them either. But I texted you about this one, and I thought this was funny. You didn't. The Pretty Deadly.
Pretty deadly, yeah.
I want to see them so bad, but I've never seen them. They haven't been on a SmackDown. I'm just waiting to see these guys. The only reason I knew about them is because I get emails now from WWE. So those of you who have done anything there, you know they will send you
1,000
the
emails.
previews for every Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
And so there was one SmackDown I wanted to see what was happening. And these two dudes come up on the email, and they have gorgeous long hair.
Yes.
Right? One blonde and one brunette. And I was like, oh, that's literally Anna and Elsa.
Yes. Like from Frozen.
Yeah, and you were mad. You didn't like it.
said-
So I immediately texted you a screenshot.
Well, yeah, and obviously I agreed with you and thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. But that's not that mean because that's their point is that they're pretty.
They're pretty deadly. Which,
Well, yeah, and you can't be blonde and brunette and pretty and not expect somebody to call you Anna and Elsa.
Exactly. And their hair's like gorgeous too. It's like
Yeah.
all, like long and like, you know, I mean, that could have just been because it was like a photo, but it was like shiny. And they're like, you know, they have like these defined jaws. Like they're pretty. Like Anna and Elsa.
deadly. Yeah. Pretty
Well,
deadly.
I haven't seen the deadly part, so I can't speak on that since I haven't seen them. But they are definitely pretty.
I see where, because I think they're also wearing like blue or something too. I see where you were getting the Anna Elsa vibes.
Oh my gosh, yes, definitely the blonde one. Sorry, I don't know who they are yet. I haven't seen them. The blonde one was literally wearing like the light blue.
Maybe that should be their gimmicks. They're Anna and Elsa.
Well, I think they could get away with it. I mean, they're like halfway there with Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. We know that there's like acts and like duos and groups that the point is that they're funny.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure theirs probably is, right?
I mean, yeah. They're also good.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't mean you're not good, but they should.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because then I would dress as Anna and Elsa at like a live
At the
show.
live show, yeah.
Yeah.
One of us could be Anna. One of us could be Elsa.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And just we're here for Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, and you should be Anna.
Yeah.
Because I have dark hair, but I'm not going to do that. I want to wear the blonde wig.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's perfect.
Let's do it.
I think so.
Okay, fine. All right, we'll do it.
But yeah, that's kind of like the fun we talk about that we have. With
Yeah.
that stuff. But like I said, it's not, I know people are going to be like, no, it's not disrespectful. Okay. It's just fun.
Right.
Well, and honestly, it's a way for us to get into it. It helps us learn names and be more interested in the actual wrestlers.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I said I wanted to give you credit for that because you were there for those ones. And if we didn't
Yeah.
have like a good time, I don't know if I would have made it through all of
Yeah.
the stuff.
Well, yeah, because we definitely watched all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will was like, wait, another one? Like,
He was like too good to be true. He
Yeah.
thought we were pranking him.
I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put another one if that's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna stop me. Okay, play.
And then it definitely became like, ooh, play this. Let's do another Royal
Yeah.
Rumble or
Yeah.
let's do an Elimination Chamber.
yeah, you were like, wait, did you like that Elimination Chamber? Well, what about
What about
this
this one?
Elimination
Let me show you
Chamber?
this one.
And you got us. And then, yeah, you recommended the Buried Alive match, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we had to do, especially for me to get into it.
Yes.
Now, obviously, I still have fun. We still joke and have fun. But I'm getting more into it. I know more now. You would probably be surprised how much I know now, like name-wise
Yeah.
and all of that. I mean, obviously, I'm doing a podcast, so I'm supposed to be learning. That's the point.
You're pretty educated on the subject.
Yeah, not so bad, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the best or whatever at it, but
At least the best in this room.
Well, at least we know Will's doing his job.
Yeah. Exactly.
exactly. But I know, like you said, you haven't kept up definitely nearly as much with like the current stuff, but you kind of know some things and like the pay-per-views you like pay attention to.
Yeah, I definitely I watched some of the WrestleMania, and then I do see it a lot on my social media because we talk about it a lot, and then it'll come up, and I won't scroll past it. I'll watch a video, or if I read some drama and I'm like, ooh, wait, what happened? I'll click into it, and I'll definitely find out.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I mean, because there's sometimes you'll text me first and be like, wait, this person's here, like, and I'm like, oh, how did you know? But it's because you keep up with like the social media
Yeah.
side.
Well, yeah, because that first episode of WrestleMania I saw before you guys did. And so I didn't spoil it, but I was like, dude, blank showed up. Talking about Jason Kelsey when he showed up.
Yes. Which, and you know, I'm not the football person, so
Yeah.
I knew it was Jason Kelsey, and I was like, oh yeah, Jason Kelsey and that other guy, and you were like, no, that's so and so.
Yeah, Lane, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a Philadelphia fan. I'm actually a
No.
Philadelphia hater. So,
Yes.
but I do know who Jason Kelsey is. So when I saw him, I was like, wait a minute, when did Jason Kelsey get into WWE?
Yeah, because that's actually what I learned a lot was how many like celebrities like not only like it and watch it, but obviously we've had some that wrestle. And so that was a big thing for you because you talked
Yeah.
about Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I love Bad Bunny, and his wrestling debut was everything to me. Because I'm sure some of you know this, but he loved wrestling as a kid, and it was like his dream to be a WWE wrestler. So when they called him up, and he got to do all kinds of things, and he did that one special SummerSlam in Puerto Rico. So I was so happy for him.
Oh, yeah. And I was still at that time because I wasn't really into it. I wasn't a big fan of the celebrities getting into wrestling because I was like, well, that's not fair because these people work their whole lives to wrestle and they might not ever get a chance. But then, like, a celebrity can just throw their name out. But then we watched that Bad Bunny one together.
Yeah, the Puerto Rico match
with
against
Damien, and I like Damien. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. But I was very impressed with Bad Bunny because I feel like he put it all in.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't, like, go halfway on that. He went all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was impressed because he was okay just kind of taking it because obviously.
Yeah, getting beat up for a little bit.
Yeah, because, yeah, I mean, he's the, like, celebrity. He's not going to be, like, this great, like, and win. And he did really well.
Yeah. I was really impressed with him. And that's every time he comes up, I'm like, oh my God, Bad Bunny.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting because that'll happen one day at a pay-per-view and you'll text me and be like, oh my gosh. I'll be like, don't tell me. But I'll know it's Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah. And I'll see it even if I don't watch it. It'll definitely come up.
Yeah.
For sure.
On my socials.
Yeah. And that, because we talked about Logan Paul then too.
Yeah, because I think I showed you Bad Bunny and you're like, oh, actually impressed. And I was like, hey, what do you think about Logan Paul? And I like showed you a couple of Logan Paul matches.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I was impressed with him too.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with him, like, continuing. Right now, he's our United States champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess. We'll see.
We'll see.
But I'm impressed with him. So the celebrity aspect, it definitely, like, you helped me with that too, because you were, like, big on Bad Bunny, and I was like, I don't know. But no, he was good.
Yeah. I like Logan Paul, too. I'm not, like, a fan of his personally, but I think he does a really good job for the show, and he does his job well.
Oh, yeah, no, he's really good, especially, you know, with his, like, promos and stuff. But that makes sense for him.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate bad guy. I think he's the ultimate bad guy. He can never be good.
Definitely the
No,
ultimate bad guy.
I don't. If he's ever good, I would have a little bit of concern.
I don't even think he would ever want to be good.
No.
Honestly.
He's always been a bad guy, and everything that he does, he's always been a bad guy.
Well, I mean, he did want to be good when he first started, and he actually didn't understand that people were going to boo him, and then he embraced it.
Oh, I didn't know that, because,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He can't do anything but what he does.
No, I think he does a really good job at being a bad guy, too. Like, he
Yes.
definitely plays that role really well.
Yeah,
So it shocks me that he wanted to be a good guy.
Yeah, he's talked on his podcast. I mean, even though he's kind of a bad guy, he's got fans, right? And so he assumed that, like, his fans would follow him to wrestling and cheer for him, and when they didn't, he didn't know how to handle it.
Okay, but he also needs to know that, because I've watched enough, being cheered or not kind of means nothing, because the bad guys will be booed or whatever, but then they'll be cheered. So it's kind of part of the wrestling game. It's like you just cheer for the same people and boo for the same people. Doesn't mean you don't like them, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some bad guys that I like, you know. I like Drew McIntyre, but I'm gonna boo him because he's a bad guy.
Yeah, and Drew's, like, newly a bad guy. Well, not, like, new,
Yeah.
but, yeah, he's great. But Gunther, my boy,
Mm-hmm.
nobody likes Gunther, but, man, when he wins, they get excited, don't they?
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah. I think it's also the crowd, like, feeding off of each other, too. Because if I was sitting there and people were booing, I'm not going to be the one person that's like, yeah, I'm booing, too.
Yeah, that's both of you, and I'm the opposite.
that was, I don't know. You sure yeeted when
I
Jay.
yeeted because he was going against Ilya, and at the time I didn't like Ilya, like him now. But also I was right next to Pat, and how am I supposed to not yeet when Pat yeets?
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you understand my obsession with Pat.
Oh, I 100% understand your obsession with Pat. I think he makes the show. I think he rounds it out and he makes the show.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for us having fun and us having Pat
Have fun also.
commentate on
Yeah.
those matches, I would have never been here.
Yeah, I agree. I think he makes it better. Like, you could tell he's having. I know there's some people online that don't like him and stuff, but I like you can tell he's having fun with it and he's joking around and liking it.
Yeah, I think it brings in, like, literally a new audience. Because sometimes, like,
Yes.
because I watched as a kid, and Michael, that's his name, right? The other
Michael
one?
Cole, yep.
Yeah, he's commentated forever on it. And so I remember him as a kid, and they just did not have as much fun as, like, when Pat's there.
Yeah.
And so I
No.
think it brings in the wives, the girlfriends, maybe the little girls or people who might not be as into it, but have somebody in their family that's into it, because the people who know how to joke love him. Like, the first time I ever heard
Yes.
him commentate a match, I was dying laughing.
Oh no, he cracks me up. I absolutely love him. I think it does really make it better. I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything against like SmackDown with Corey and Wade, because I do like Corey too, especially after WrestleMania.
Yes.
But Pat's like the best at that part of it.
Yeah. No, he's just hilarious.
No,
And you can always hear him in the background, and you're like, did he really just say that?
yeah, no, he's crazy. I love it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna eat with Pat.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Just
Well, yeah, if you're right, it's like you have to.
Yes, like it was a right.
Yeah.
I was like by him.
Yeah.
But like if you're not by Pat, you'll never catch me eating.
No, sorry, I'm a no yeet girl. I'm not wearing that today, but I'm gonna.
Family-
Family above all. Jay went against family.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
that
then-
is true.
And then you eat it. Poor Jay.
I yeeted against Ilya.
She yeeted 4 Pats.
Wow.
Thank you. See, she gets it.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so now that we're talking about new and current people, are you still saying Randy Orton's your favorite? Because he's obviously cool.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think the first time, first of all, I didn't know he was still going.
Mm-hmm.
So the first like current match that we watched that he was in, I was like, oh my God, it's Randy Orton. Like, yes, he's still wrestling. So yeah, I definitely think so. I don't think anybody's ever going to top Randy Orton for me.
No, well, especially now he's huge.
Yeah, jacked.
He didn't realize like you got older, Randy. Nobody would have been mad like if you didn't. Get
Right.
that big. But I mean, we both love Randy too.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's your like
Yeah.
top. Now of the other ones, even though you're not like fully kept up with it, is there anyone else besides him that you're like, oh, I love them?
I do like Roman Reigns. I think he's like very entertaining to watch.
One's up for Roman, not for Solo. You are not my tribal chief. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, other than that, there's not anybody. I don't think. Have I talked about anybody? I'm bad at remembering names too.
No.
So I do like Freakin', but he's definitely not one of my
Yes.
favorites.
Yeah, because I think with him, especially a lot of what we watched, it was with him, and he's even though he talks so much, he's fun to watch. So I do
Yeah.
think you liked him. Obviously, yeah, Randy is fantastic. I don't know if there's anyone else.
No, I think that's it.
I don't think you watched like a lot of with us that was like current.
Yeah, like I said, I do like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But I'll cheer for him. But
How did you feel when the Undertaker came out to help Cody against Roman? Who were you with then?
okay, The Undertaker, but only because I have loyalty to my roots. Okay, I was absolutely terrified of The Undertaker, but I loved him. He was just so good to me. So, The Undertaker, unfortunately.
Which I understand.
Because even Bella was.
Well, because I love The Rock, but I mean, there's like, it's hard because there's tiers and there's levels, right? Like,
No,
there-
100%. Because
Yeah.
there's a few people that I like, but I wouldn't say I love.
yeah. Well, and see, The Rock I love too. So he's on that like love level with The Undertaker, but within that, I have to rank them. I didn't realize until that happened that The Undertaker was it.
Yeah, because when you're watching it, you're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And you realize who you would prefer.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you just hear that gong or whatever,
Yeah.
the bell, and the bell, and you're like, oh my
Oh my
gosh,
God,
it's
is The Undertaker really coming out right now? Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I wanted him to win the match. I know he couldn't, but
Yeah, just him become the world champion.
yeah, that would have been fine.
Mhm.
You would have been fine.
Oh, I would have been really fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, but okay.
Well, yeah, because Cody's your boy.
Exactly.
But
And
He
you have no
likes-
loyalty.
did you like The Undertaker first? Or no, I guess you aren't as big of a fan of The Undertaker as we are.
I mean, The Undertaker is a legend. You gotta give him his respect. I like The Undertaker. But Cody's my boy.
Yeah, you really love Cody, though, so
Yeah.
I get that.
Watch this. Cody and CM Punk.
Okay, we're not talking about that right now. I'm not gonna answer a hypothetical question.
Either of them and Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay, see, so he's
Oh,
sure
okay,
on
so
that.
he knows his people.
Yeah, but he will not choose between CM Punk and Cody.
I don't
Huh?
blame you.
A good tag team. CM Punk, Cody.
I will. Give me anybody. I'll give you.
Roman Reigns and The Rock.
Roman
I
Reigns.
got her.
Dude, Roman Reigns, come on.
Okay, with what we think is going on, because we did a prediction on a past episode that
Yes.
we think that the point is Roman's going to come back and he's going to have to get his own little tribe because Solo's over here. And there's this ultimate theory that The Rock is actually in charge of Solo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go Roman.
Mm-hmm.
That's my side. Sorry. I love Solo, but he was a betrayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, because you understand why I couldn't go with Jay, because he went against his twin brother.
Yeah, that was crazy to me when you guys told me that, because I wasn't watching like that. So you guys told me that. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's your twin.
Exactly. I mean, Solo also went against his brother.
But it wasn't his twin.
Yeah, but they're brothers. So I was mad. So I'm fully for Jimmy here because he's the only one that chose not to go against his brothers, and I know you would understand that.
Oh, 100%.
Because we wouldn't go against each
Yeah,
other.
because you guys actually believe in family above all. Right?
Well, yeah,
As your
no,
shirt
we
says.
may beef from time to time, but I would never go against my twin brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so I could be the main event.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And just eat. Why? Just have a thing. Like,
Just
we
so
could sell
everybody can
shirts.
yell yeet. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no. We're family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, if WWE paid us like a lot, we'd pretend.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'd even pretend to be your twin.
Oh, for sure. That'd be funny. We could pretend to be twins.
You're like, we're twins. What are you talking about?
We're literally twins.
They're like fraternal? Like, no, identical.
Like,
Well, we may not get away with the identical part, but we could definitely get away with the twin part.
no, but if we said we were identical, and every time I fraternal, I'm like, no, identical. Is it why? Because I'm fatter than her? Wow.
Oh yeah, you
Shut
just
up.
pull that card, and then they
I'd be
won't
like-
ever talk about it again.
I'd be like, well,
Exactly.
I mean, she's a lot taller than you. So,
Identical twins can be different heights. Thank you.
is that true?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, I really didn't know that.
No, it is
I thought
true.
they're
They can be-
identical, like identical.
Every single thing about them is identical.
What, to like the centimeter? No, of
Yeah.
course. They're not going to be dramatically different.
They might not be
heights.
able to have different shoe sizes, but they can definitely have different heights.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, see, you taught me something today.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure. I
Okay,
also
but,
watch a lot of documentaries.
but nobody fact check us if we're wrong.
Yeah, don't be mean. Just be like, hey, just so you know, that's not true.
Yeah.
And just say that, or say nothing, and we want to believe this.
We'll go on thinking that for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we'll actually just start telling everybody that and getting it caught on.
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
Rewrite history if it's false.
yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
It's okay.
we'll just be like the WWE. They do that.
It's not that serious. It's all in good fun.
Exactly.
It's not like we're trying to rewrite something crazy.
No, exactly.
No. No, I mean, yeah, that doesn't hurt anybody.
No, it literally doesn't hurt anybody at all.
What might hurt your feelings is that Pete Dunne kind of looked like a girl that one time. So
Okay.
I won't rewrite that history. I won't like say anything crazy about that.
Yeah.
But I just want people to recognize that at certain angles, certain camera angles, with his hair in certain places, and because he's a little bit shorter, he does look like a girl.
Okay, well, I mean, at least you know his name now.
I do.
And at least you're kind of like him now.
No, I love them. They're great. The Big Strong Boy. I'll show you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me because I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
I don't. There's nothing against him. I just need people that are like entertaining.
That's why I think I like the Big Strong Boy more. I like Tyler Bate more. You like Pete Dunne more, and I think you'll do the same because the Big
Yeah.
Strong Boy will impress you.
Pete Dunne's like the serious one in the group, which we've seen like on Raw and stuff.
Which is kind of funny. Just so you know, the
Considering-
girl's the serious one, and the Big Strong Boy's the like, I got this. I'll show you, and then I'll
Yeah.
give you guys an update on what she feels.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I mean, is there any other like big people you want to talk about, big events, or you just chilling?
No, I don't think so. I just kind of want. I mean, my favorite is the Royal Rumble, but like WrestleMania is fun to watch. But other than that, I do just like to watch more of like the individual matches and stuff like that. And then obviously I am ride or die Randy Orton. So if he ever stops wrestling, sorry, Will, I can't watch it anymore.
It makes sense.
So if we get really good donations from our viewers, would you go to Royal Rumble with us?
I would 100. I don't even need the donations. I will go to Royal Rumble. I love the Royal Rumble, and I love trying to guess who's gonna come out, what
Yeah.
number, and then what number's gonna win.
Oh yes, we do that too.
Yes,
so
we do
that's- Randy could be in the Royal Rumble this year.
I'm sure he will. Yeah.
So,
Well, when
we
is
should-
it?
In January.
Oh, so yeah, next
Oh,
year.
like
sorry, but,
2025. That is perfect.
Yeah.
yeah, that gives you plenty.
I
of
will.
time.
I will be available.
Okay.
Yeah. So the moment they announce when and where, like the exact date and where, we'll start.
I mean,
just
is it
start
going to be
saving
somewhere
now.
out of the country? Like, is it going to be something crazy, or do they do it here?
I don't know. There's talks. They usually do. They've always done it in the States,
I was
but there's
gonna say-
talks that they might be moving. We'll see.
So where?
Australia.
Somewhere we are gonna go, or
We'll see. We'll talk about it off camera.
okay, we'll get passports too, just in case.
Okay, don't worry. I'll just get my passport.
Yeah, we'll
that
get
was the
passports.
only thing I was worried about. I'll get my
Let's
passport.
just get it just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll take her to Royal Rumble. Well, sorry, we can't afford it unless we get donations. then
I know I joked about not needing donations to go to Royal Rumble, but they are appreciated.
Yeah, so
I will still go, but they are appreciated.
otherwise, we'll start saving up for now, and we'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm aiming for front row.
Oh yeah, ringside, guys. That's what we're.
Oh, I'm sorry, ringside. Is that what they call it?
Yeah,
But
ringside.
I mean, there is rows in the ringside though, so you want front
Okay,
row ringside.
front row ringside.
Yes.
Yeah, I got.
So, and I mean, we will bring you guys inside with us
Yeah.
if that happens.
Yeah, ideally not behind the Prime hydration station this time though.
No, we want camera side, front row ringside,
Yes.
Yes.
and we'll do that, and we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm not committing to that. That's on my vision board, but I'm not committing to it.
We're committing to it, so
I am 100% committing to it. I don't
Yeah.
need a vision board. It's already.
yeah, and we'll win, so don't worry about it.
Tickets are actually bought.
Yeah, we pre-bought the tickets.
Okay.
It's
That's
like
good to know.
pre-ordering like a book or something when
Yeah.
it comes out. Yeah, we pre-ordered our tickets.
Yeah, so don't worry, we will be there. I'll give you more details once we find out where it's at. Thank you. But yeah, I just thank you so much for joining us. Too.
Oh,
This has
thank
been
you guys
fun.
Thank
for
you.
having me. I will be on another episode.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Well,
For sure.
especially if we
Unless
go
the
to-
fans hate me, and then I will not be on another episode.
they won't. If anything, they'll be like, "Oh, you guys should do a podcast, like us."
Yeah, me and you not
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, not about wrestling. We would never do that to you.
No, of course.
Bella and I will start a crime podcast. It's pretty saturated, but if you guys want it, leave a comment.
Let us know. But yeah, thank you for joining us
Yeah,
and letting
yeah.
us use your space.
Yeah, we really appreciate
Oh,
it.
of course.
Bella?
Yeah.
I love wrestling.
I know.